Welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Calista Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. And today, I am here to bring you some winning wagers. I'm looking at some spreads, some totals. Hello, Brian. Hello, David. I am so excited to dive into some of these amazing plays that I have for you today. And wow, without football, it just feels like we're finally getting an NBA game and lots of college basketball. But I'm sure, like all of you, I'm really excited to start going into baseball season. You know, really start seeing some more sports to bet on pop up around here. See a lot of hearts coming through. I know you guys feel that too. Hey Derek, hey DJ Ray. Thank you so much for coming in and spending your evening with me this Wednesday evening. And it's so wonderful seeing all of you. Spencer, thank you so much. And I love all of the heart emotes. That is perfect for Valentine's Day. I still have my decor up, but I was thinking about just keeping it up the whole month of February. Not too many more days left. And my rosé just kind of matches the whole theme here. So cheers. Hey Super Bro, so nice seeing you. I love all these hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so fun and I can't wait to dive into some of my plays, but first, you know what I'm gonna say. Time to sit back, relax, and get your minds right to win some wagers. That's right, everyone. I think it's so important getting your headspace right. Sometimes coming down from the day, relaxing, allowing yourself to de-stress a little bit and focus in on creating the best strategy, the best game plan to approach your wagers and, you know, really make sure you're maximizing your profits. I mean, that's what we're about, right? We don't want to be losers. We want to win and win and win. So it's time to get our minds right. It's so great that you guys are all starting to get to know each other in the chat here. We have such a wonderful, amazing community of sports handicappers and cannabis enthusiasts and everyone in between coming back week after week. Hey Tyler, it's so nice seeing you. Thanks for joining me. It is going to be a strong strain. I'm sure you guys are probably already like, are her eyes already high? And the answer to that question is yes. I have been experimenting with some new strains. So I have a lot to talk about there, but I'm going to get into that in a cannabis segment. We have some games to cover first, but right now I'm enjoying some white runts. It has a really nice sweet flavor. Runts is my all-time favorite. All-time favorite. And this is like building right on top of it. This is a cross between gelato and Skittles, and it'll leave you feeling relaxed and tingly. And yes, it's gonna be a really fun show. This is also reported to help people with symptoms that have like chronic pain or anxiety. So uplifting, energizing, but also calming and relaxing as well. A little bit of the best of both worlds. That's why this is my preferred hybrid. Runts, white runts, pink runts sometimes. I like it all. That was a good one. Wow, I can't wait to tell you guys what I'm experimenting with, but I'll dive into that later. We have some games to look at. First game is, of course, the game of the day that I'm looking at between the Hornets and the Lakers. For those of you who signed up for my free daily emails, you saw I listed this one early. I said grab the over. This one I grabbed this morning at 226.5, but this opened up really early on at 221.5. Right? It definitely is a mixture of fun and fruity flavors. So, okay. So I grabbed this over at 226.5 early on. This is a play I felt very strongly about. It opened up at 221.5. So that's already a 5-point move pretty early on the total. Moved up to 227, then 228. There was level 5 pro money, still hammering it at this point, hammering the over. Everyone's coming in on the over. Vegas is moving us like crazy over. And right now, the last time I checked, this is sitting at 228.5 on level 5 money still. So this is very strong. I've liked this play all day. This was actually the first bet that I locked in, like waking up this morning, bright, bright and early. Waking up, locking in this bet pretty early, the over. I just saw everyone hammering it. And more than that, Vegas really made a strong push here. It wasn't just the money, it was also Vegas as well. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, what about the spread? That's important. Hey, Ken Leo, welcome in. Now, what about the spread on this Lakers game? This moved out from -8.5 to -12.5 on mixed money. Interesting, right? But then quite a bit of Joe money started coming in on the Lakers. Now, considering this was such a big move pretty early on, looking at this, normally I would say this looks like a play, but then I also had to look at the money movement and see what are the sharps doing, what are the Joes doing, and how exactly is this line getting influenced. And it turns out there is quite a bit of Joe money on this, so that's why I ended up just staying away from the spread here, and I like the over a lot better. It is a solid over, and I am a demure stoner. Oh, yeah, well, tomorrow, that's when it'll be a lot of fun. But today, this was one of those plays I spotted early on, and I just couldn't help but take. I mean, it is a little high right now at 228.5, but, grabbing it early was the move. That's why signing up for these free daily emails, checking them out. I would love everyone to tell your friends, tell your family about the stay in touch button at arielcalista.com to sign up for these free daily emails. I locked this one in early though, and I've been thinking about having like real-time alerts going out to you guys with early plays. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if this is something you would be interested in. It's definitely something I'm considering and working on. Let me know. So the over looks solid here, and I'm passing on the spread. Now let's talk about Alabama versus Missouri. This is the big game that everyone is talking about tonight. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, and right now for me, I'm leaning, but I don't really see like anything that I feel super solid about right now. I don't feel like I have a great handle on this game. It's more of a lean, but there is some pretty big movement going on from where Vegas opened up these lines. Oh wow. Ladder to 231.5 over. Okay, well, you heard it from another sharp handicapper. This might be a spot where you might want to ladder it, and Lakers over might be a ladder spot. So, of course, make sure to refresh yourself on, some of the ladder information that I put in the morning emails, just so you're laddering in a profitable way that's making you money and you're not losing over time, right? When I drop off a play, yeah, you know what? Because sometimes a lot of these plays do fall apart, and sometimes it's just like, I just kind of let it go. But yeah, keeping up to date on all of that. That's really helpful. I love the feedback that I'm getting here. I'm glad you like the coaching corners on the ladders. I think that's really helpful information, and I don't think people are really teaching about ladders, especially not in profitable ways. Like the sports books want to teach you about ladders, but in a way that's going to make them more profitable. I'm so glad you guys like this. I love hearing your feedback. This is really helpful to me, and it also helps me create better emails in the future, knowing what you guys like and what you're reading and what you find interesting. So then I could, tailor these emails more around your interests. That is so important to me. All right, now Alabama versus Missouri. This is the one big game everyone's talking about. Missouri spread opened up at +1.5. They were an underdog. This flipped pretty early to -1.5. And there is some mixed pro money on Missouri, even though there was a ton of money on Alabama early. Like just tracking the money movement, especially if you have access to track the money movement over time. This is very key, like, and important when you're looking at these wagers, looking at these lines and trying to understand how it all forms together. Looking at this money over time, there was a ton of money on Alabama early, but then a lot of it started to drop off. It started to move more into the mixed money territory. And right now it does seem like there is like a group of some pretty professional players coming in on the Missouri spread. But it's still very mixed. A lot of mixed money, even though there's some pros, very mixed. And I can't say I have a great handle on this, even though just looking at the line, moving from +1.5 to -1.5, seeing the professional money, normally I would be, I'm leaning towards Missouri here. Don't get me wrong, I am leaning towards them, but this is more of a lean. Yeah, I was looking at that. I noticed some very established books were moving this early. Like a lot of money came in on Alabama, but then places like Circa, they're very established in Vegas for many years. They have one of the most elaborate sports books in Las Vegas, and they really made this a powerful statement in their casino there and hotel. And also Superbook, they've been established in Vegas forever, and they're just one of the same proven tested lines, and the sharps hang out there. And both of these places are very prominent sports books in Las Vegas. So when you're looking for trustworthy numbers out there in the world, looking at the established sports books that have been around forever, not just regional, not just online books, but looking at the ones that have been around the longest will definitely clue you in. Because all of those sports books in Vegas, you're always hanging out in them. That's why. Yeah, MGM does have good lines, but the thing is with a lot of these online, when you're looking at the money splits and you're looking at some of the lines and these online sports books that have just popped up in the last few years. Remember, online sports books they really aren't a thing in Vegas anymore, especially considering how many hurdles people have to go through just to even be able to bet on sports not inside of a casino. It's actually harder than it is in Pennsylvania for whatever reason. But the online books, they fluctuate a lot. You have a lot of Joes coming in all the time from all over the country. It's a lot of first-time players. And a lot of the professionals who've been doing this forever, they already live in Vegas because that's the spot you need to live if you want to become a professional sports handicapper. Not anymore though. Things have completely changed, but for a while, it does matter. It definitely matters. It's, you gotta look for the established lines, and that's so important. And there have been, a lot of online, you know, sources of data that I'm like, I can't even look at that data because it's just so wrong and so misleading. So getting your numbers from established places is key. And anyone, if you have any questions on, doing this more effectively, feel free to write me an email or contact me on arielcalista.com and I'll respond right away. Well, now it is time to go into the 2-minute drill. Yeah, you want to be careful of that. Seriously. And line shop around a little bit. That's important as well. Well, I think you guys are going to like this 2-minute drill, and stay with me because we have some more plays after. Let's get started. Do you fear the losses? Losing streaks are inevitable in sports betting. The real question isn't whether they'll happen or not, but instead how you respond when they do happen. Now, some bettors, they crumble under the pressure, letting frustration and doubt take control over their emotions, while others are using the setbacks as fuel to refine and sharpen their strategies to come back even better. So which one are you? Because cold streaks happen to everyone, and the bets that look like locks suddenly start to miss, and sometimes bad beats pile up. But the difference between a sharp bettor and a broken one is not luck, but instead how they navigate these downturns. Research from UC Irvine suggests that moderate adversity actually builds your mental toughness, making those who push through the adversity more resilient, decisive, and emotionally controlled. These are traits that define long-term success in sports betting. And resilience is not random, it's a learned skill. Every losing streak is a test, and how you respond determines whether you evolve or self-destruct. Now, some bettors panic and start chasing losses, and they just abandon their strategy altogether, while others analyze, they adjust, and remain disciplined, knowing that downturns are temporary if they maintain an edge. To thrive through the losing streaks, you have to control the narrative. Instead of spiraling into frustration, reframe the challenge. What's the edge that I need to find? Losing forces you to redefine your approach and identify potential weaknesses. Every wrong call holds a lesson, so study your mistakes, tweak your process, and execute with even greater precision next time. And most importantly, lean on data and not emotions. Betting isn't about feeling like you're due for a win. It's about trusting the process and sticking to a well-built model. Most bettors let their losing streaks shake their discipline, which can lead to costly mistakes. But the sharp bettors, they see the downturns as training, understanding that their ability to endure through tough stretches without breaking is ultimately what sets them apart when the inevitable wins return. So, when the losses come, and they will they break you or will they make you stronger? I hope you guys enjoyed that 2-minute drill. And that's very true, like don't chase losses. Don't, really tie your emotion into the loss, because the losses validate the wins. And I say that all the time, but it's true. It is true. It's just probability and math. You're going to have losses in sports betting. Even though we know that the sportsbook numbers are so good, it's so tight, there are even times when they get it wrong. So losses happen, but how you prepare yourself to manage and really mitigate the risks, that's what's important, because that's what's going to put you on top and help you improve your handicapping skills. But truthfully, you could apply that to anything. You could apply that to the financial markets. You could apply that to your job. There's so many ways you could kind of apply these lessons elsewhere in life, but starting with your bets is definitely a great way to get started. Yeah, wow. Third round of trying to chase a Super Bowl loss. you really have to be careful, especially, on days like today and yesterday when there just aren't a ton of opportunities to bet, and you might not be making the most strategic decisions in those moments. And if you're betting with your emotions, if you're just trying to recover all the money, sometimes slow and steady wins the race. And making these straight bets, I know everyone loves to play parlays, but sometimes just making these straight bets and applying your strategy and grinding it out and working hard, it works. It really does work. And that's how you get into these ROIs that are literally unheard of in a 30+% range. You don't see a lot of people in Vegas walking around with those ROIs. Seriously. And due for a win. I have heard so many handicappers say that this team is due for a win, or they're due for a win, or something of that sort. It just, that's, no. No. Anyways, let's talk about this next game. New Mexico versus Boise State. This is at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Now, Boise State went from -2.5 to -4.5, then to -5.5, where it's sitting at right now. Now, this is one of those interesting lines as well, where there was some heavy New Mexico action early on. I was kind of staying away from this game because there was so much heavy New Mexico action, and yet Vegas was moving this line against all of the action. They're moving us in the right direction for Boise State, but then this flipped. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of, I don't know, a lot of pro money at some of the sharpest books on New Mexico, and it's like Superbook and Circa, and I mean the established sports books are showing some money here too. Yeah, this is one of those games that I just don't think I really like. I don't think I really like any real particular play in this game. Let me look at how this line is moving right now. Yeah, so so I was a little shaky on this line earlier, because there was so much New Mexico action and this was moving in the wrong direction. But then this did start flipping a little bit. This flipped so that like Boise State is now getting a lot of money, and some sharp bettors did start piling on to Boise State, and it seemed like they started piling on after Vegas already moved this line out a little bit. So it does look like in this scenario, the sharp handicappers are following the book here versus, the book following the money. So I do have a strong lean, I would say, on Boise State. Just all things considered, watching the line, watching the money. It's been a little weird and wonky today, I'm not gonna lie, but just looking at how it's sitting right now, with some of the pro money coming in on Boise State and Vegas moving the line in the right direction for Boise State, I'd say this is a heavy lean. This game starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, so there's quite a bit of time. You might just want to wait and see on this one, watch the line really right up until game time. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just watch and see how the money is moving, how this line is moving, because there's still like a few hours until game time. But just watch this one. At this moment, it's a lane. Boise State is definitely a lane. Now, I also want to talk about Portland versus St. Mary's. This is another 10 o'clock game, 10 o'clock Eastern. This Portland spread moved from 25.5 plus 25.5 to plus 23.5 on level 3 money. Now, this is also one of those spots that's acting a little weird because there's level 3 money here. This only moved really 2 points in the right direction for Portland. I would say the money here does look a little Joe-ish. Not something I would necessarily follow at this moment. If Vegas moves this line a little bit more, I might consider it, but at this moment, considering how Vegas is really just following the money, I don't think Vegas is taking a strong stand here, and it does look like a little bit of Joe money. So, I don't know. Keep your eye on the Portland St. Mary's play as well. This is another one. Oh, I think you should give us a breakdown, Derek. I would like to see that. You would do a much better job than me. Definitely, but man, all that fighting. What do you think about it? What are your opinions on it? Now it's time for the cannabis segment, so I'm gonna feel free to let me know your comments on the Four Nations final, and I'm gonna enjoy some cannabis. You guys kind of heard my thoughts in the morning email. All right, that's cool that you'll actually be there. All right, that you have a decent sized bet on Canada. I think Canada, they're I feel like this is more than like a game for Canada. They might be starting to take this personally, but us too in America. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be really fun to watch. Now, I wanted to talk about some kind of weird and funny cannabis strains. And I just want to let you guys know, even though I'm smoking white runs, you could really name a strain anything. And you know, last year I was talking about naming a strain, doing the genetics for it and everything, but you know, like the group I was with at the time, like we could never really like find a name that we all agreed on. Just didn't seem like the right one ever really like stuck with everyone. But I want to read you some funny names. Meat breath. That's a real strain that's like skunky, garlicky, and a very potent hybrid apparently. I don't think it'd be the first strain I'd go for in a dispensary. They also have Schlemon Cake. It's a sweet and citrusy hybrid. I like it. I definitely do need a stronger puff. Because I already once brought to the show Orange Creamsicle, didn't I? I don't know. I've tried that strain before and it's really good. But it's also not an ice cream. But it's good. You know, it has a citrusy flavor. Yeah, so if you guys have names for a strain that you like, let me know, and yeah, I want to start naming some strains. I mean, I could always go with Face that we came up with. But there's like peanut butter breath, Kush mints, cat piss, and of course, can't forget like the iconic Alaskan Thunderfuck strain. I think everyone's heard of that one, right? So, adding a little bit more cannabis in here. So basically when you want to create a strain, you just select the parent strains and, you know, you can breed traditionally, and of course, the male plant pollinates the female plant, and then you go like pheno hunting, so you find, like the best smell and flavor and like high THC. So, like you really want to like test all of your seeds and test your plants and make sure everything is like very similar. And then of course, like when you find what you like with the right flavors and tastes and everything, then you back cross it. So you breed that plant back with one of its parents to really lock in that strain. And yeah, that's how like you get these strains that are always the same. Like, no matter where you go, runs is runs is runs. So that's exactly it. Oh yeah, that is a good one. Thanks so much for all of the hearts. I love it. I love it. I see all the hearts coming through. I really appreciate that. Now, I do have a couple of, actually 3 more plays. I had a lot of plays tonight that I was looking at. So 3 more plays. I definitely look a little high right now, but that's okay. I've been experimenting today with a lot of cannabis products. But right now, I'm looking at Gonzaga versus Washington State. This is a 9:00 p.m. game. Washington State. Yeah, Smoke is definitely trying to say hi. Washington State went from plus 13.5 to plus 11.5, with the majority of bets on Gonzaga. But there is some sharp money starting to come in on Washington State. This I want to keep my eye on. Again, I know I feel like I'm a broken record saying that I want to keep my eye on like all of these lines until the tip off, but this is one of those spots where it's only moved really 2 points on the spread here, and considering there's just a little bit of sharp money starting to show up on Washington State, this might be a spot where you want to just wait and see if more sharps jump in, if there is a bigger Vegas push, or really if any more action happens here. I'd say as of right now, Washington State is in the lean pile. Another line that I'm looking at is an under, actually. So I'm excited to talk about this total. I have another total for you after an over. But right now, I am looking at the under in the Oregon versus Iowa game. This is at 8:30, so it starts in just an hour. You might want to lock your bets in pretty early here because this moved pretty significantly from 161.5 to 158.5. And there's also level 5 money on the under. So a huge Vegas move, a huge money move. It seems like the under is the way to go in this game. So I like the under here. And finally, last play of the day that I have for you is Omaha versus Kansas City at 8:00 p.m. I am looking at the over. It went from 142.5 to 145.5 on mixed money. Now, this is some developing sharp money I see developing on the over here, but it's also already moved to 146 in some spots. So this is moving, Vegas is moving this number, and I think they're going to keep pushing this out. So yeah, grab this one fast, and this one also starts at 8, so you really just have like another like 20 minutes really to lock this one in, so go for it. And that is all of my those are all my plays. That's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I am going to run down all of them once more so you can make sure that all of them are locked in. if you missed the play. All right, starting with the Lakers-Hornets game. Now, I really like the over early. And of course, this was my early play of the day. You guys all saw that bright and early this morning in the free daily email, which I hope everyone signs up for at arielcalista.com just by clicking on the Stay in Touch button. Oh, hey, Super James. So nice seeing you. Oh, this is so great seeing you pop in here. I like being on the TV. That's cool. All right. Thank you so much, DJ Ray, for linking that. The cannabis is definitely gotten me a little high here. But yes, click that link right there. DJ Ray, just put it in the chat. I am leaning also a little bit towards Missouri tonight, facing off against Alabama. This was a pretty big Vegas move, but just a lean. I haven't locked this in yet, so, you know, keep this in mind, keep your eye on it, and watch the money. Watch how Vegas is moving this line. That's important. Next, I was looking at New Mexico versus Boise State. I am liking the Boise State spread. And now there's a lot of sharp money coming in on this, so I like it, and it's moving in the right direction. Then I am still leaning on this one, not a lock yet, just a lean. I wouldn't even really put this in the action pile at this point, but just keep your eye on it. It's Portland. Looking at this sitting at plus 23.5 right now, there is money on it, but is Vegas just adjusting for the money here? That's what we need to see. This game starts at 10, so we have plenty of time to keep our eye on this. Now, I also like Washington State. This spread is moving in the right direction. The majority of the money and the bets, they're on Gonzaga. I know, I'm betting against the masses. I'm fading the masses here. But there is some sharp money coming in on Washington State. So keep your eye on this. We have plenty of time. Put this in the lean pile, not the action pile, but in the lean pile for now. If you want a little bit of action, you can ladder the Lakers over. But keep your eye on this. There's still plenty of time. This starts at 9. Then Oregon versus Iowa. Loving the under here. The money is loving the under. Vegas is loving the under. This looks like easy peasy win. It's gonna go under for sure. Hopefully. Can never be too sure when you're sports gambling. And then finally, Omaha versus Kansas City. This starts at 8 o'clock, so in 20 minutes from now, and I'm loving the over. It's sitting at 146, I'm sure, in most spots by now. Last time I looked, you could still get it if you line shop at 145.5. But this looks like it's going to keep moving up, but it's on mixed money, so purely a Vegas move, and I like to see that. All right. Oh, thank you so much for all the love on my newsletters. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying them. It always is a little bit of work every day, you know, that I put into how can I really convey some of these lessons to really help you guys become better handicappers and learn more about your health, and use the newsletter as a tool to help you make better bets. And we're all growing here as a community. I love to see that. You guys are making great bets and becoming sharper handicappers every day. And we're all winning together. That's what this whole community is about. So I can't wait to see you back here Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for some winning plays. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to this live stream. And of course, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and good luck tonight, everyone. I hope you all have some wonderful winning wagers, and I will see you back here Saturday morning for some more fun. Bye, everyone.